When a buyer submits an offer through their broker, a seller generally has three options. They could accept the offer as written, they could reject it by not responding to it at all, or they could respond to the offer with terms he or she would like to see changed. The first option is not very common, since the buyer would have to know exactly what the seller wanted to see in an offer. The second option seems harsh, but it sends a message to a buyer that their offer is so off the mark, it's not even worth negotiating. But if a seller assumes a buyer is acting in good faith, which most buyers and sellers are, then the third option becomes the likely way an offer goes under contract. This is known as a counterproposal, a counteroffer, or just simply a counter. A seller may very well like an offer that's presented, but might want to see one or two terms altered to better meet the seller's needs. Obviously, price is the number one term a seller would want to see changed and negotiate, but the dates in the contract, such as closing date, other items to be conveyed with a home, and the condition in which the home should be left are also considerations. Also, how an offer is written might be unclear to the seller or might be misconstrued later in the transaction. Writing a counter could clarify those terms to ensure there is no ambiguity and no potential disputes. If you've ever seen the contract to buy and sell real estate for the state of Colorado, you know it is 15 pages long. The counter, on the other hand, is at most 3 pages long. That's because there are many items that you wish to change as a seller that you would need more pages to respond. It's probably not something to which you should even be responding officially. In a seller's market, there might be multiple offers presented by different buyers. This is where a counter can come in very useful to get the best deal for a home. You as a seller could easily say, "We have multiple offers. Please resubmit and present your highest and best offer." However, this leaves all of the buyers trying to guess what you want to see changed. Instead, you could counter any or all of the offers with what you would like to see changed, and whichever buyer signs first wins and voids all the other counters. This is definitely a way to ensure that you are getting what you want in a real estate contract. In a buyer's market, the counter will be the best way to determine how willing a seller is to negotiate. What matters most to you? Price. Now, just as the offer or contract binds you as a buyer to its terms, the counter binds the seller to its terms. While it is certainly in a buyer's purview to counter a counter, this can get messy real quick, and it's just easier to submit a brand new offer with the elements the seller presented in the counter. Unless the seller officially withdraws a counter, they are committing to you, the buyer, which means you are free to move on if you as a buyer don't like the counter presented, or you can resubmit that new offer. Once both parties sign the counter, the contract is in effect or executed, just as if both parties signed the original contract. And any changes moving forward to the contract will have to come in the form of an amend extend. But that's a video for another day. This is John James with the James team at RE/MAX Partners, and this has been another episode of The Contract. If you want more information about this clause or any other clause in the real estate contract as a buyer or a seller, please give me a call at 970-846-0797 or email me at johnjames@jamesteamsteamboat.com. Have a great day.